Welcome to ZenTen with Jackie Rose of Zentangle. We're on day 5. It's shading day. Yay! And sorry about my hands. Okay, so let's take a nice deep breath in and out. Oh, I just realized I missed a spot right there. Well, I'll have to fill that in a little while. Okay, so let's take our pencil. Actually, we have to do our tortilla and toast. This is a Jackie Rose tradition before we start to shade. And when I count to 3, you're going to hold up your tortilla and out loud. I don't care who's in your house, if you're by yourself or with a bunch of people, which hopefully if you do have a bunch of people, they're not around you and you're in a quiet area. But when I count to 3, you're going to say tortillon. 1, 2, 3, tortillon. Very good. I know you did it. I know you guys. I know you did. All right, so let's start off with shading. Let's start with poke root. We did that first. Let's just give a little bit of graphite right on the bottom right here, just a little bit on this right side. Just a little bit right there. And then with our tortillon, we'll just blend that in, just staying on that side. Very nice. Now you can alternate sides. I think on this one, I'm going to go to the left side a little bit. So follow your own intuition, your own gut, and just a little bit on each one. And it can go over to the outer edge too if you want it to. I kind of like it on the inside. It doesn't really matter. But just a little bit on that little roundish area. And then push it out with your tortillon. Lots of different ways to shade, especially round shapes and orbs. This is just one way. That's a good idea. If you have one overlapping, it's nice to put it right where it looks like it's going underneath. And then with the little ones, I'm just taking what's left in my tortillon and just giving it a little dab there. And I think that's all we'll do there. Let's go to the other poke root. If you did another poke root, you could do the same thing with this one, although since it's a little bit different, I think what I'll do is give it the top, a little bit on the top rather than the bottom. And blending it in. Almost like a little hat or hairpiece. That's good. All right, now we're going to go to Jonquil, right here, Jonquil. And let's shade the white boxes. So I'm using the side of my pencil. Very lightly, I'm putting in this graphite. Very, very lightly. And then I'm going to take my tortillon and blend it in solid. Just taking that graphite and just spreading it out, blending it in, smoothing it out. Now remember, my camera doesn't show the shading as clear as it really is. So know that the shading is there and a lot darker than, not dark, but a lot more visible on my actual tile, which you will see on the Facebook page when I post it. And hopefully all of you will post it today too. When you're done, just take a photo and post it on the designated Facebook page in the comments section on Zentangle site. So let's go to these little fans, the footlights. And I'm going to just turn here and just right inside the edge, put in some graphite right above that line. And then smooth it out. Staying really close to the bottom, bring it up just a little bit. And I'll do that with every single one of these footlight patterns. I've got two more, and then I've got this over here, which is ended up being a little bit different than footlights, but we'll deal with that when we get there. So let's stick with this one right here. Now this pattern, footlights, like I said, it's a variation of it. There's a little bit more to this pattern, but it reminds me of footlights. Okay. And let's see. So going over here, I think I will just kind of give it just all the way around the perimeter, all along the edge. I'll just give it a little shading right inside the edge there. So it's almost like the tips, those rounded tips are getting some shading. Notice how the tortillon feels in your hand, on the paper, how the graphite feels, the pencil. And remembering this is a mindfulness art class, so really paying attention to the sounds, the feelings. Okay. So with flu, this is flu. We're going to try to, not try, we will, I know it's kind of small. In the background here where the white is, we're just going to put in some graphite. Right in the background, wherever there's some white area, put in a little graphite and then smooth it out. So you can see the difference between this one and this one here. So I put in some graphite in the background where the white was. And now we're going to do it with this one as well. And again, I like to use the side of my pencil because it shades and blends better that way. So just put in a little graphite, then blend it in. Okay, that's good. And now for the end zeppel. For end zeppel, let's just give it some graphite, just like kind of like how we did with the orbs, because these are rounded shapes. So we'll just pick maybe one area of each graphite, of each orb, and then put some graphite in and just blend it in. So just, and you don't have to do all of them. You can just do some sporadically, which I think would be a good idea to start with, and then you can always go back. So I'm just picking one little area of each balloon or orb, then blending it out, and then pushing, maybe I'll push a little bit out right along the edge here, but making sure you still have some white in each one, so it looks like a highlight. So have fun with this. Yeah, so I'm just going to do a few in each section because I really like how that looks. You know, they say when you meditate, you can't meditate wrong. There's no wrong way to meditate. And that's the same with Zentangle. There is no wrong way to do Zentangle. because it is a meditation art form. So make sure you're feeling really relaxed. If you have any stress, let it go right now. Let it go, push it away. And the way to let it go is just start focusing on being in the present moment, not caring what it looks like. Or you don't have to care what it looks like, but you can admire, maybe say something like, wow, this is beautiful. I love what I'm doing, which probably most of you are doing that anyways. I know I am. I'm like, I really like how this came out. I don't always feel that way. There are some ZenTens that I do, and I wish and I don't even want to put them out there, but I know you all will do it and do it better than I, and you usually do, not usually, you always do, and you make me so proud. But I put it out there anyways, even if I don't like what I did. But when I do like it, which is most of the time, I do admire my work because that's the Zentangle way. You need to admire your work. I don't like the word work, your art, because this is not work. This is joy. So right now what I'm doing is I'm actually just going lightly over this whole area. I'm not even paying much attention to each individual because it's kind of all, just because this section seems like that would be fine to do that. So I kind of just very lightly put a whole bunch of shading over there, and wherever it falls, it falls. All right. And like I said, I will probably, I kind of like that. So I'm not going to fill that in after all, but I might take my little eraser. I know that there are no erasers in Zentangle, but I have handed out these little star erasers in my classes, and I'm just going to take off that little bit of the border. That's all, because really the no erasers do apply to the pens. There are no erasers in life. We can't erase our life, and you can't erase the pen when we work in pen. So, and that's because whatever we draw, we're meant to draw. So let's turn this around, see how it looks in different directions. Because there's no right side up in Zentangle. You can put it any way you like and sign your artwork wherever you want. I think I'll sign right there since I have that space. You can use your initials, your name, your chalk, which is design your initials, your name, however you want to designate your signature for your masterpiece. Please take a photo of it, post it on the Facebook page at facebook.com/rejuventangle. There'll be a designated post there, and in the comments, you just can upload it by clicking on the camera icon and make a comment. Please like this video. It really means a lot to me when you give the video a thumbs up. And thank you so much for spending this week with me and with ZenTen. See you next week.